make your job easy.
The Eagles collect their 5th straight victory, both in the 2019 home and away season and against the Bulldogs. A 61-point victory at Optus Stadium, giving them a much-needed percentage boost. Now the side sits equal second on the ladder, a game clear inside the top 4. Welcome to this week's instalment of Eagle Review. Proudly sponsored by Kennards Hire. Actually went there on the weekend, Benny, yeah? Had to hire a megaphone, had to be best on for a buck stay on the weekend, so you can't be bothered getting in. KennardsHire.com.au. Let's talk game though, Ben Roberts. Dogs love coming west though, don't they? They've lost 13 of the last 14.
Elimination final 2016.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to mention that, but cheers. Really was a game of 2 halves though, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, could have been a very different story if they kicked a bit straighter. I mean, I still think the Eagles' class probably would have prevailed considering the avalanche in the second half, but if they'd kicked straighter, it just would have made things a little bit more interesting. They certainly would have got more lift out of themselves for longer, I'm sure, and the Eagles would have been probably a little bit more nervous, but for them to not kick straight, and that's, I guess, you got to take your chances, don't you? Because if you're doing that against a good team, you could get licked in the end.
Yeah, 2-7's a horrendous result. What about the Dogs' tactics from the get-go in that first quarter? It was evident what they were trying to do.
Don't they? Love handballing and didn't want to kick and try and kick into that Eagles defence and turn it over a lot of the time, which is what happens when you try and kick long into the Eagles defence at times. 71 handballs in the first quarter, that's a lot. I think that's enough for second on the year for any side. They only average 42. They do like handball, particularly out of stoppage. They love handballing, but that's a lot of handballs for a quarter. Clearly, as we say, not trying to kick it into the Eagles' defence, and it almost worked for a little while.
West Coast and Avalanche, as you said, in the third quarter, they came to play. 9-3 third term. 56 points is the highest scoring quarter by any side this season.
Good time.
West Coast just went whack.
Yep, ball use at 82%, 79 kicks at 82%. That is what you call elite. After half time, 41 more effective kicks than the Doggies, 43 more marks. And we know all those stats. We've talked ad nauseum about the stats and marking and West Coast and wins. So in the second half, 11 marks from 28 inside 50s. So that's a huge uplift. As we say, they were on top completely. Darling 6 goals. Second time in his career. The other time was?
Last year, wasn't it?
Last year against the Tigers when he had that day out. JK, 3 goals. Loves playing against the Doggies, JK.
Eats it up, doesn't he?
Eats up the Doggies. 53 snaggers versus the Doggies. That's the highest tally against any side. Remember, he's had those 2, I think he's kicked 10 against them twice from memory. He's definitely kicked 10 against them once, but loves playing against the Doggies, and yesterday got a lick of the ice cream as well.
Yeah, the forwards were on, no doubt. Plenty of other good performers we'll touch on, but the efficiency inside forward 50 over the last month is what's really been impressive from the West Coast camp. Last month, West Coast scoring rate inside 50, 47%. That's good for third in the competition.
It's very high.
That's up from 15th up to round 6, so they've certainly improved in that state of affairs. Let's listen to the senior coach, Adam Simpson, following the game.
Coming off success, from experience at other clubs as well, I think there's always that confidence within that you've gone to higher levels before. So as much as we love to play that way all the time, it is difficult. So we're working towards that. Hopefully we're still getting that consistency. But when we're challenged, I think our leaders do know how to respond.
The midfield certainly got the chocolates for the day, Ben Roberts. Scores from stoppages, this was stark, 8-4 to 3-4. CBD stoppages, so centre bounces, 4-2 to 0 from the Western Bulldogs. So Timmy English and co couldn't get the job done there. So you've got to give a tip of the cap to Vardy. I thought that was quite a quality game despite not a lot of touches. 28 hit-outs was the 1%.
Yep, as Simo said post-game, he's a role player and he does his job most weeks, and sometimes he gets beaten like he did probably against Gawn. And at the weekend, Simo said he was up against a younger opponent in Tim English, who's probably going to have a chance to be able to have a good game. And the last couple of weeks he's played pretty well, Vards. He's played his role, plus taken a few clunks and done things around the ground, which is good to see Vardy back to some form. So he was very good in giving the guys some service, and if not halving the contest, and that's the other thing. So Andrew Gaff, 36 touches, loves playing the Doggies as well. Gov had 8 marks, so he was very influential. And again, I thought Elliot Yeo was very, very important. I like the forward line mix at the moment, just with Rioli back and just building his fitness, and Ryan's obviously dangerous. He kicked 3 goals yesterday. Cripper's into some good form now. I just like the way that's going, and if they can get the supply they got yesterday, they're going to to be very potent up forward, put it that way.
Saw the skipper miss the entire fourth quarter and then change on the bench. Hamstring tightness is what the senior coach said.
He's pretty old.
It'll be interesting to see whether they want to give the old dog a couple of weeks off. You've got Sydney, then the bye, or whether it's nothing to worry about. Scans will determine.
We'll see.
How about this stat? 100 tackles last week, 37 this week.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means, but it was just an interesting stat.
Well, it was a monstrous amount of stoppages last week, and then around the stoppages, obviously a lot of tackles and that sort of thing. So that obviously added to it. But 100 last week, very combative game, very sore boys last week. Down to 37, went on a very high tackling team. Never have been under Adam Simpson. But yeah, last week was one out of the box for sure.
Let's have a look at this. Jeddah's back, so it's kick out time. Watch, freeze frame. Look at this. There's no gap here. We've got one eagle between two dogs. Jeddah recognises where the space is. The kick has to be precise.
And it is.
It is, but it's not a set play. Otherwise, that eagle defender at the top would have been blocking the space. Geez, it's great to see Lewis Jeddah pull out these miraculous type moves.
He's just such a great kick. It's good to watch. As we said, we've talked about his kicking in the past. But what about doing some of the tough stuff as well yesterday? Just beelining the ball in between all the bodies. Didn't care, but absolutely crucial, and got it out and got it free and ended up in a goal, so it was huge.
Did indeed. Josh Kennedy, 3 hit-outs this year, had 0 last year.
Fantasy coaches into a tailspin. Could be ruck status added shortly.
This has got to be one of his best of his entire career. What a fist forward that one.
Him in the ruck and JD in the ruck the last couple of weeks having some influence from the ruck. Good to see.
It's been amazing to watch.
Yeah, too right it is. What about this one, JK? Little smiles from JK when Dommy, from the angle, should never have doubted him. Dommy should never have doubted him. But he could have kicked it there, but no. As long as you finish off, it's all good.
What about this one? Ryan intercept, just came out of nowhere. One bounce, skims inside the post. Had everything this play. JK lost a shoe and the momentum as well. That was a bit of comedy gold there.
Cinderella style. Now, Waterman. Now, he's kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes. Now, I've dug into the numbers here, Stephen. Courtesy of Sir Swamp Thing, I must say. 217 seconds between his first and third goal. Now, that's including game time, so waiting for the ball to be
Is it number 1, Benny?
No, it's number 3.
What?
Number 3. He's on the podium at least.
Yeah, I take it.
Number 1, as far as Swampy's concerned, or as far as he knows, 138 seconds between 3 goals. Brad Miller 04 v Richmond. It's very, very quick, the 3 goals. Purple patch, the definition of.
Yeah, agree. All right, roast of the round. Kennards Hire.
Can I take you around the grounds? Can I take you around the grounds to open things up?
Go on. Yeah, just mix up the order. I've only been doing it 4 years. Go on.
All right, well, I'll do it then. Okay. How about this? Matt Stevic at the G. Thought he heard the whistle. We're pretty sure you would have heard the whistle of being 3 metres from the whistle. No.
And he knows whistles, mate.
Yeah, he knows his way around a whistle, boy. He knows that he was just assuming that was out of bounds, made the call, went too early with the whistle.
Yeah, he did. That
Made a goose of himself.
would have been comedy if they let that play out, so I'm very sad about that.
Goose.
Go to Darwin, I believe. Hannon, that's one of the worst snap attempts I've ever seen. Even Alex Keith didn't want any part of marking that. Hey, we're going to go back to the top of the order now that you know what's going on. Gowers, I don't know why I found this so funny. Got ridden by 3 players here. That was comedy. Hey, do you mind a little bit of push and shove in the battle between Gov?
He gets a little bit cranky sometimes, Gov.
Well, I thought Gower's little high hit was uncalled for, so I'm glad Gov let him know.
And
what about where he took the mark and he just decided to spill it in his face? But there you go. There.
Looking for a 50?
Nah, just looking for a bit of, hey, this is what I can do to you when I switch on. Know what's going on? This is one of the craziest plays of the year, I thought. Norton almost killing Gowers, Gov coming through. Yo has to hurdle him, trips onto his head in the end, gives the ball straight back to him. Gowers almost kills Dale with the same thing, but Duggan just got hurled into the turf. Libber hitting the post. It just had everything, that play. Roast them all.
Yeah, roast them all. 2 guys hitting into each other. We've roasted our players for this in the past, so we're going to roast Oppo players for doing that and the same thing. Johannesson getting it too cute by half, as some might say, straight to Rioli, Cripps goal.
Yeah, enjoyed that. Ryan, no mark here. Okay, moving on. Never mind about that. Rioli, that is just a genuine shank. But I did love the move. This is the fend. He almost had goal of the day. Little Willie Rioli with the bang fend.
Little shimmy.
Missed it though. Goal of the afternoon goes begging.
Liam Ryan clearly didn't watch the Champions League final. Clearly wasn't up and about after Klopp and his boys got it done. Fresh area here. Fresh area. It's disgusting. And a goal umpire. Now, this is not the big one from the weekend that everyone was talking about, but it's funny, the same thing sort of happened. Check the goal line, not all sweet, move on. Yeah. Next, hang on. Whoa, what's happened here? Something they'll look at, no doubt.
Massive errors. Cole going to the candy store, buying every bit of it.
That is 3 weeks in a row where a kid has taken everything that was on offer at Candy Style. We need to go down there and talk to him.
Full bellies this morning. Oscar Allen, love the pump fakes here. I'm trying to get rid of it. Nah, the umpire's in great position to see every bit of what you're trying to do there. Gardner misses his first goal attempt. Flash to disappointed parents, putting on brave faces in the crowd. Unfortunate, but the winner, you can never go past one of these, Benny.
Anytime someone gets a shot in the pills, it is a roast, and very close to roast of the round. And when it's Razor Ray Chamberlain, there was going to be no other winner.